Hi everyone, I'm Lesley from Heffy Doodle and I'm here at Scrapbook.com with a fun card making video tutorial for you guys. This is a good one for those of you who maybe don't want to color with markers, or you want to just bring some color to your projects using some inks. I'm going to be using some Scrapbook.com ink today, and also some a blending brush to bring some color to this little pumpkin here from our Veggie patch stamp set. This is also a really fun card because we've added this element with the acetate at the bottom. To start on today's project, I'm needing a top folding note card like this, just in white color. And I've also cut another panel which is 5.5 by 4.25 wide. I've also taken a piece of acetate. Now this is a thick acetate here, and we're going to use this to create the bottom section of this front panel here for a fun transparent look. I've trimmed down the acetate to the same size, 5.5 by 4.25, although I'm only going to use about half of it, so you could trim it down even more. To get started, first of all, what I'm going to do is use my low-tack memo tape, my Heffy Doodle memo tape, and I will line up this top panel with the front of my card and secure it together with some of my tape, like this, on the left and on the right. Now I'm going to trim across. I'm actually going to use a die to cut a curve along the front of my card through my top panel and the front of my note card. And to do that, I'm using the Heffy Doodle Slopey Joe's stitched border dies. So I like to position this about 1/3 of the way up and make sure I get a nice slope there. And I'll hold it in place with my memo tape and run it through a die cutting machine. Now when I run this through the machine, it will cut through this top layer and also the front of my note card as well, leaving me with a gorgeous slope on my card. So make sure you open your note card before you run it through the machine. So it only goes through the top 2 layers. And first I'll run it forward and then I'll run it backwards again, just to help cut through the 2 layers of the card. Now I'm going to stamp a pumpkin from our Veggie patch stamp set right on the front here, and then we'll color him in with some orange ink. So now I have my note card here. I'll open my stamp platform, tuck it into the corner, and position my pumpkin right in the center, about 1/3 of the way from the top. And we're going to stamp this right onto this top layer of the card that's on the top of my cardstock. Now I'll give this a minute to dry, and then we're going to add some orange color using some ink and a blending brush. But before I do that, I want to mask off an area using my Heffy memo tape so that I get the perfect square shape on my card and my ink will be confined to that square. If you prefer, you can use a ruler to help you line up the memo tape so that it's perfectly straight, or draw some faint pencil lines. Or if you have a craft mat with lines on it, that also helps to make sure that it's nice and centered. I'm just going to eyeball it. Now that I've masked off a perfect square, I'm going to do some ink blending using Orange Spice and the Tim Holtz Distress brush. Using the brush, I'm going to come back and forth over this square area and build up the color. You can go as dark or as light as you like to get the intensity that you want. For me, I like the ombre effect. So I tend to go heavier at the bottom, more ink at the bottom, and then go lighter towards the top of my design. So let's pull back the Heffy memo tape and reveal our inked square in the middle. Now I can also take away the memo tape on the left and on the right, because the next step is that we're going to use the coordinating pumpkin die to die cut this little guy out of the top panel of our card. We have our pumpkin and the top layer of our card. Now I'm going to take this little pumpkin and I'm actually going to inlay him onto this front panel of my note card. So let's line up the front panel and add a little bit of wet glue in here. And place him right in here, just like you're placing in a jigsaw piece. And now we're going to take this piece and add the acetate to the back of it, like this. And this is going to help us build like a shaker panel on this card. So let's take some double-sided sticky tape. Because I've cut my acetate to 5.5 by 4.25, I can line this up against the bottom of my card perfectly and then lay this on top like so. Now before I put any foam adhesive on the back of this, I want to add a sentiment to this front panel, and I'm going to be using the Hello Pumpkin sentiment from the Veggie patch stamp set. I'll place this panel into the platform and line up the Hello Pumpkin sentiment just right underneath my orange box here. And you can stamp this in whichever color you like, but I like the bold black and the way it pops against the white cardstock. Now to turn this into a shaker panel, we need to add some foam adhesive to the back of this panel here, making sure that you only cover the white areas, not the clear area at the bottom. Now that I've removed all the release paper from my foam, I'm ready to add some sequins into my card. So I'm going to add some in here, and I'm just using some clear sequins today. And then I'll use the edge of my card to line this up perfectly. So there we go, little pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed this card today. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message.